Hello, welcome back to On the Mic with Mike. I am Mike Jarvis, and I am honored to be joined in this edition by the new, well, he's just yet another calypso king in the sense that he's been so many versions of a calypso king. So I'm welcoming Montserrat's new soca monarch, Keithroy De Bear, the Voice Morson. Bear.
Good day, Mike. How you doing, my brother?
I'm good. I'm good, man. And well, I know that you're doing quite excellent and excellently at the moment with I hope those crowns are not too heavy on your head, you know. You're wearing a lot of crowns.
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot, and I'm really honored to be able to use my talent to the best that I can to achieve, in the art form of calypso and soca. It's just an honor, It's a gift, and I'm just happy that I'm getting the chance to use it while I have the strength and the understanding.
I just cannot help my behavior. I am just a nosy neighbor. No matter how hard you try to hide from me, my people, nosy neighbor. You bet your life I'm going to see. I'm going to see. Family, I am your nosy neighbor. 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 Your house in a war. You buy a new car. You gonna fight. Come late at night. I am your nosy neighbor. Let me say, I am your nosy neighbor. Oh God, happy day. Happy day. Happy day. Happy day. Take it down, take it down, take it down. We have any people in here tonight?
Yeah, well, that is fantastic because you spoke about it being a gift, and your talent is undeniable, and your commitment to the art form and the culture is absolutely unquestionable. So you've been the Calypso King of Montserrat, Calypso King of Antigua, Leeward Islands Calypso King from that competition in Anguilla, and now you're the new Soca Monarch of Montserrat. You're not competing in the Calypso King Monarch competition this year either in Montserrat, or you have not been in Antigua. So what are we seeing here for you now? Is this a genre shift for you from one aspect of calypso music to another?
Well, firstly, Mike, it's taking some of the pressure off my head because calypso it's much harder for calypso to compete because the rules are different. In calypso, you have to be on par. You have to remember every line, every word. You have to sing in proper timing and key. Everything has to be on your A game when it comes to calypso. You can't you make a slight mistake and the other competitor could pass you just like that in terms of you losing points. So calypso, it's much harder for you to sing calypso and to compete with it. Whereas in the soca, you have more leverage where you can stop the band and you can sing one verse for the whole night, one chorus for the whole night. You can just do anything you want in this Soca Monarch. Anything goes there. So and I'm in the groovy. I was in the groovy and the up tempo as well, and it's totally different to the calypso. So I told myself, look, I want to have some fun. I haven't had some fun on stage for a while because calypso is not fun, Mike. I could tell anybody when you're competing, calypso is pressure. It's sleepless nights. You tweaking here, tweaking there, here, hearing a line in your head, change that, change this. Calypso is pressure. So me not singing calypso this year have given me the opportunity to have fun. And I'm telling you, I'm having fun, Mike.
Well, I mean, from this end, it is quite obvious that you are having a lot of fun and taking a lot of people along with you as well, lifting them, giving them that joy. But the thing
Yes.
about it, and perhaps help me with this, regarding the groovy soca and the power soca and this new genre of calypso music that now seems to be taking off globally, it requires a heck of a performer to carry that through and hold an audience and take an audience along with you on a stage. So you just can't get up and sing and maybe, you know, do one or two little moves as you would on a calypso stage. You are a performer taking a crowd along with you, and you do that so well also.
Well, let me give you a little history, Mike. When I went to Antigua, I started out singing calypso there. Then I think in 2001, I entered the Party Monarch there for the first year, and I got first runner-up. I went back in the next year, and I came sixth. Now, what was happening is that it was a Saturday, Sunday thing, calypso on the Sunday, Party Monarch on the Saturday. And it was too close for me to prepare for both. And then my voice was getting ruined to the fact that Party Monarch, there's a lot of shouting and energy used. So when it's time for calypso now, I didn't have the energy to take it forward. So I came out of that. I came off the Party Monarch in Antigua, and I stuck with the calypso, right? So I had my little experience there. It wasn't much. So when I came back here last year, I went in, but I went in to have fun as well, because as you rightly said, especially the power rumble, the up-tempo, it has changed where these guys now are singing like the Jamaican dub. They don't actually sing melody in the up-tempo. They just talk on the rhythm, you know, that style. That's the new version of what Party Monarch is now in the up-tempo, where they just talk on the rhythm, and once you have a bad rhythm and you have a little singing chorus, that's it. In the groovy now, which requires a little bit more of singing, I know that where my strength lies. The criteria is different. They look for rendition, melody, you know, all these things, sweetness in the groove. And so I knew that I would have stand a chance of getting by in the groovy, but I took my chance in the up-tempo, and I got second runner-up. You understand? Because the other young guys were not as good as the two that was ahead of me, because if there were other guys there as good as them, I wouldn't have placed because of what they were looking for, the way they did the criteria and everything. They're looking for crowd just roar. We're not looking for much. You could go up there and mumble a few words, and once the crowd roar for you, bam, you're the hit. Once you have a good beat behind you and the crowd roars, bam, that's it. So it's different. It's, as they say, it's evolved, but that's what they say. It's evolved. It's a young people thing. You know, so if I want to stay in the power rumble, I'm gonna have to start learning to, chant like these guys to stay up to date.
Yeah, well, you were already warming up to that. What was it last year when you had this very powerful song "Roar"? So yeah, you're in the game. You're
right.
In the game.
I used "Roar" last year in the groovy, and I got first runner up behind Water, our very own Water, right? And I use a pum pum sound. That was the name of my up tempo, jamming to the pum pum sound, and I got second runner up last year. So this year now, because I didn't write to the criteria last year for the groovy, I just had the song sitting and I said, let me use it. So when I study the criteria now, Mike, and I realized what I need to do in order to get a little better, I wrote for the criteria for the groovy this year. So that's what caused me to excel in that area. Now in the up tempo, I'm going to have to sit now and study it. I'm going to have to start listening to the Marshalls and the Claudettes and all these people and the Tion and see where I can improve myself in the modern way of doing it, so I can appeal to the younger people in that version, because they seem to be leading to that way. Now, Mike, if you had come to that show, you would have danced to my song, but the judges wouldn't notice you're dancing because we don't have the energy like the young people to jump up and shout. So you understand what I'm saying? So my audience...
Anybody see me attempting to dance, probably that would have brought the whole place alive.
Right. My audience was there. They were dancing, but you didn't see the wild out in them. No, the other guys, they had the young people dancing and they were wilding out. So the judges went for that because the judges looking for the wilding out of the people, you know? So that's where you have to go now if you want to enter anything. Even Antigua, in the Power Rumble, if you want to enter that, you got to get the crowd wild out.
Yeah,
you know. So I'm studying it.
All right. Yeah, well, you're doing a fantastic job so far, and you've just segued into something that I want us to get into. But let me just make a step back. So you have two elements. You're talking there about the energy that's required for the power soca. But the groovy soca, I mean, that song that you have there, Just Like That, the song that I call Sweet Lady, Just Like That. I mean, that song, Bear, to be honest with you, that song is practically pretty, to put it that way. And it reminds me of what's been happening with Zouk music, because there's a linkage going on between up-tempo Zouk and what they call the love Zouk, the groovy Zouk. And you, because you can sing very, very well, you can carry that melody in the groovy soca, but then you can also jam. And you bring that energy in the power soca as well. So, I mean, don't knock yourself, man. You carry both spectrums of this extremely, extremely well.
Well, I do my best, Mike. I told myself, listen, you don't have much time with those knees, you know. So use them now that you have them. I mean, I'm getting close. I'm getting close to 60, Mike. So I have to talk like that. I mean, you don't have much time with those knees, you know. So you have to start carrying those knees, you know, using them now you have them. So you know, I'm planning on staying there. You know, and because the young guys are happy to have me. A lot of them have come to me for advice and how they can improve themselves and so forth. So I've spoken to a few of them, telling them, look, start learning to sing, stay in key, start learning to sing melody. You know, that just the chanting on top of the rhythm. But if you want to do groovy, I mean, I tell you, look at the guys who have excelled in groovy, Farmer Nappy, Marshall Montano. These guys, they can sing on a melody. They can sing melody. So they have both genres wrapped down, you know. So you have to be able to do that if you want to touch all of the audience and not just the young people who wild out, you
exactly.
know. So when you go out to tour, you have a wide audience coming to hear you, because you can inspire both. Right now, I can inspire both, you know, but they are just on one side of the coin. They need to flip it, you know. So I'm trying to help them in that area as well.
And staying on that point, on message, I spoke a little while back there about segueing into something else. Now, you're dropping the names of the big stars in the power soca and the groovy soca, the Marshall Montanos, the Farmer Nappies, Olatunji, and all of these guys. And now we see the Jamaicans getting into it. So we have the Jamaican dancehall performers linking up with the Trinidadians who are driving
soca,
this, right? And we have the Bajans getting into it. And what is happening that is now tending to piggyback on what Sean Paul and some others have been, Shaggy and some others have been quite successful in doing with Jamaican dancehall, is to take it global. Now, and there's another name I want to drop in here, Cass from Trinidad. Good. These guys have opened up a global commercial market for groovy soca and power soca. And my question to you, what next for Bear? Because this is now global. We love to have what's coming out of Montserrat, but for the global market, you cannot restrict the new Bear now to Montserrat, can you?
No. And what I've done, Mike, what I've done is that I've tried to not make up my sound like the regular sound you have out there, because when I noticed you have the Antiguas have gone the Trinidad trend, you know, most of these artists, they have gone the Trinidad trend, and when you're going to compete against the people who created it, it's difficult. So what I'm doing is creating my own beat with the same flavor. Right? Because if you listen to Just Like That, there's nothing out there like it. It's mine. So what I'm doing, I'm creating a brand for me. And I just came from seeing Crazy, and he tell me, oh, I love this. I would like to do something on this beat, you know, Just Like That. He loves it, you know. Crazy. He was in Montserrat performing last night. He was there. And I just left his room, and he told me, listen, I would like to work on something like this because this is so nice. It's fresh. So I'm trying to push that sort of, out of Montserrat. This is out of Montserrat, you know. So I don't want to sound like the Trinidadians. I don't want to sound like the Jamaicans. I want to have a nice new sound that hits. So I've already sent it to Antigua. I'm sending it down to St. Kitts. I'm sending it all over. I'm just to get it out there that this is coming out of Montserrat. Fantastic. You know, this sweetness is coming out of Montserrat.
Lady, tonight is your night. Sweet lady,
fantastic. I mean, branded the Montserrat beat or the Montserrat rhythm, or I don't know,
Yes.
pyroclastic rhythm, or whatever you want to call it, but branded for Montserrat. And importantly now, Bear, you can't just limit yourself to putting it out there. You got to be out there along with it. So what are your plans?
Oh yes, well I've already been getting a few calls as to where I want to go. We're planning a few shows here and there. I've already got a call from England. The usual singing in the States. I usually do that, so we're planning that as well. Antigua have already called me. They're fighting for me to come back there. So I'm looking at all the Caribbean festivals, and I'm gonna get in touch with them and see how much I can get out there to push this. Like I said, I have a few more years in these knees, so I gotta use them.
Exactly. Because we see that again, following Arrow, who, and Crazy has been talking about it, the global outreach that Arrow had. And I think we've been waiting for another global musical outreach coming out of Montserrat, because undeniably, and you hear it in the soca competition, even in the calypso competition this year, the caliber, the quality of talent that we have in Montserrat. Arrow took it to the world. We now see Taboo making a switch, okay, concentrating on his reggae, not giving up calypso, but now he's also touring all over the world. I want to see Keithroy De Bear Morson on those stages as well.
Well, that's in the making. That's in the making, Mike. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. The time has come. It's now or never. So I am working on it. I'm start making my contacts, and now that I've stepped over to this side of the music, there's so many ideas just coming in my head, and it just for me to sit down and just get it done, and just get out there and be a part of it, And
quite interestingly, I heard your interview with Lenny of ZJB. I call him ZJB Lenny, when you were talking about encouraging the younger people coming up. You just spoke a while ago that they come to you for guidance and ideas, and you instruct them, etc., etc. So if you're doing that for them, we want you to do that for you as well. So what are we seeing being mapped out here?
Well, like I said, Mike, when I told my lovely wife that I was gonna go over to the soca side, in my head I was saying, listen, it's not just to go on the stage and entertain. I've got to see if I can rub shoulders out there with the bigger guys, so that I can get some of these jobs and start, seeing some world-based recognition, in this area, because I've done a lot in calypso, and the genre of calypso doesn't really go much these days. I mean, it's just we use it more for competition and so forth. But for entertainment, when the entertainment times come, you see the people who they call more of the reggae or the soca. When they're having festivals, they don't invite calypsonians, they invite soca artists, reggae artists. So for me to get a piece of the pie, I have to now concentrate on that side of the genre of music, which I've started. So I'm looking at Afro beats, I'm looking at all kind of things, and see how can I gear towards these sort of melodies and this sort of styles to push me. Because as you said, I'm a singer. I can sing. I'm not the best, but I can sing. So I can hold my own with anyone on stage. So I think it's time for me to push that side of me out there. And a lot of people are surprised. They say, you have this holding all the time. I say, well, everybody know me for calypso, so I just sing calypso. But I'm doing it now, Mike, and I'm glad that you're interviewing me now and you're encouraging me, because trust me, this is gonna happen. The new Bear is gonna be out there mashing some toes.
My friend, the world, as they say, is your oyster. Go for it 150%. And while you're doing that, let me come to something that I do not want you to give up on, because you are a very busy bear, right? You are also very much involved in your culture work in Montserrat, and I must really commend and compliment you for the work that you're doing with the youngsters, teaching them our local embedded Montserrat culture in masquerade music, masquerade dancing, masquerade drumming, string band music. How is that coming along?
Well, I've just started. Just piggyback a little bit. I came here in 2012, started a school, and it ran for 2 years, and then it did work out. And now that we have a new government back in place, the same guy who brought me from Antigua in 2012, Ruben Timid, now that he's back in power, he has given me his assurance that he's going to give me the chance to teach the culture and to get Montserrat culture back on track. So that what I'm doing there with the youth is just a start with the community. You know, we're going to take it to the schools. We're going to try to bring back the string bands, everything, all of Montserrat culture. We're going to try and get it back, and I'm going to impart what little knowledge I have about it to the youngsters as best as I can. And if there's areas I don't have the expertise in, we will bring people to get it back, because we need to get our culture back on stream. So it is what I'm doing. I really appreciate what's happening, and yeah, I try my best, Mike. Like I said, I'm going to put in all I can now that I'm strong and alive. I'm going to do the best I can to give back, and just hope that we stick with it. Cause it's about time. It's about time we get this going. And the youngsters are enjoying it. Right now we have so many youngsters, parents who have brought their children to the program and say, I want my child to join. I want my child to join. So what we have to know is to get community centers up and running, so we can have them in different centers, because the one Davy Hill Center cannot take all of them. It's just too much. We have 13 right now, and that's a lot, you know, and we have about 10, 12 more coming and say they want to join. So we're taking it to the communities after the masquerade. And then the secondary school called me 2 weeks ago and tell me they want me to start training at secondary school troop for St. Patrick's. So it's just happening. It's just happening, Mike. And I'm really happy to be a part of it right now. Really, really happy.
Well, and I'm really, really happy for you, and I'm really proud of you. And as I said, you are one busy bear, and you're going to be a lot busier, not only with what you're doing in Montserrat, but also taking your brand of groovy soca and power soca to the world. Congratulations.
Thank you, my
Monarch.
brother.
So, by the way, which is it now? So, is it bear? Is it the voice? I mean, which one is
It's the
it?
beer. The beer. I changed to the voice in Montserrat for the calypso competition, you know, but when I'm doing anything differently, I go back to my regular self, the beer. So right now it is the beer in the soca, you know, jamming the soca.
Fantastic, bear. Congratulations, and thank you very much for taking the time.
And I'm very honored, Mike, for you to consider me to be on your program. Thank you very much.